Slightly Unblended, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Today I wanted to do my base routine because I had a request and I absolutely love getting requests. They always make my day. I'm always excited. So if you want to know how I do my base, then just keep on watching. So this is how I do my base. So my main thing is I do my skincare. I use the Yensa Superfood CBD oil, the Ordinary Vitamin C, the Ordinary Hyaluronic Acid, La Roche-Posay SPF, and the Yensa Lotus Moisturizer. That's the morning skincare routine. So that's important first. Skincare is always important. I feel like it just makes my face feel better and makes it more moisturized. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go, or to start out with, I'm going to take my Yensa Tone Up Primer Essential Glow. Love it. It's a very amazing. Yensa is one of my favorite brands when it comes to base products or skincare. So I'm just going to pop that on and put a little extra on my chin there. I kind of feel like I use a little bit more than I should, but I like to try to make sure that it's even all over my face. So then I take a little brush and I just kind of get that blended in. I'm going to take it over my nose and just work it. And then I just put it on my forehead as well. Then I let that set for about a minute. That way it has enough time to, I feel like, set into my pores to try to make it look a little bit more airbrush. So I wait about a minute. Once that's set, I like to give myself that extra glow. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to use. Probably a pink, but I do need to look at this face chart because the look that I'm working on now, which will be up on Sunday, is a face chart recreation. And I'm going to try to match my highlighter to it if that is something that is in the picture. Probably should have done that first. It's not really showing a highlighter, so what I'm going to do is just take this About Face Light Lock Highlight Fluid, and it is in the shade Fight or Flight. So oh, okay, yeah, I hadn't used this one yet. I'm going to shake it though. I'm going to take it and, ooh, I've never really had a dropper. Okay, so that is way more than I need. So I'm just going to put that on the back of my hand. And I'm just going to pat it on to the high points of my face. And if it gets a little lower, that's okay because I like to look super dewy and like a glazed donut. And I'm also going to apply it on my forehead. Trying to avoid the zit that's coming up. That started last night. I was up till midnight working on a Valentine's Day look and I was like, oh no. I could feel it itching and I was like, And the same thing over here. Put it on my chin. This is blinding. Alright, I still have some left over. I'll probably just let that dry because I accidentally got too much. I'm too lazy to go wet my sponge because as soon as I'm finished with this look and I'm finished getting pictures, I'm just going to wipe this off and go to bed because it's getting late. So my sponge is not wet. Sometimes I wet it, sometimes I'm too lazy to go do it. But I'm going to take the Yensa Skin on Skin BC foundation. It's a full coverage foundation with SPF 40 in it. This is the second tube that I'm starting on right now. I love it. It is my favorite. It's like, just because it's full coverage, it still makes my skin look like skin. Like, I don't know what it is. It's magical. So I'm just going to take it and see, right here, I call these my little parentheses and my bacon strips. So I know that foundation and concealer tend to want to set in my fine lines. So I try to avoid that. And this foundation is close enough to my skin tone that I can kind of get away with avoiding any product application in that area, at the very least anyway. I'll put it on my nose. And I have some redness right here underneath my nose, right where my nostrils kind of start. So I kind of cover those. And on the sides. And I just pat it on. So I kind of try to avoid the center of my forehead because I will be applying concealer there. So I try to avoid that as much as I can because I don't want to use too much product. And then I turn it over and just kind of make sure that I have it nice and blended in. Now I'm going to take my Yensa Skin on Skin BC Concealer, it's full coverage as well, and I'm going to use that to conceal my eye bags because my lack of sleep lately, and just kind of cover up anywhere else that might need just a little bit of my skin, but better. Take it down my nose, a little on the chin, a little under my nose, and on my forehead. So I didn't really talk about the shades that I have for this. This is the shade Light Neutral, and I do believe that the foundation is the same shade. It is, yes. So then I take my sponge and I try to find the side that I didn't use for foundation. And I just pat it in. Just gonna take it up. Blend it down the nose, the bridge of my nose here, all the way down. Cover up my little veins, get my chin, and continue to blend this in. Okay, so I kind of go back and forth between powder bases and cream base, or powder contour and cream. Today I'm going to be doing a powder contour, so I'm really just kind of bronzing. I'm not really going to use a contour, but this is the Well People Golden Hour Super Powder Bronzing Powder. It's a lot of powders. I don't normally powder my face aside from like the powder products that I use for like highlighting, blush, contour, and stuff like that. I feel like the powder kind of emphasizes my fine lines. So I'm gonna start right here, like, see the brush is at the top of my ear where my industrial is. So I'm gonna start about right here. And just kind of pat that on. I'm gonna skip the blush for this one because I tend to do it a couple of different ways, but well, I'll probably just keep the blush in it, but I do it a few different ways because it just depends on the mood that I'm in for blushing, and the face chart that I'm doing has like across the bridge of the nose, and I do like to do that sometimes, especially in the summertime. Get that nice little sun-kissed effect. Well, I'll say the summer. I do like to do that in the wintertime as well because it's kind of cold outside and I feel like it just makes me nice and rosy cheeked. And do the same thing over here. And then I take some of that bronzer and get right up close to the hairline and just kind of work that in there. To contour my nose, I'm just going to take a little bit of this bronzer, only about halfway. So what I'm going to do is take it to about right here, and I'm going to bring it kind of upwards to connect towards my brow. And I'm doing this a tiny bit different from how I would normally do it because I'm going to take that blush over my nose. So I'm not really needing to full contour, if that makes sense. So I'm going to take this brush. These are Morphe brushes I got in like 2018. But they are pretty easy for nose contouring. Now is for one of my favorite parts. I'm going to highlight my face. So this is the Chromazone highlighter from the Chromazone Multi-Chrome collection from SheGlam. This is in the shade Lucid, and it is absolutely beautiful. I am obsessed. It has easily become one of my new favorite highlighters. So I'm just going to take it and apply it to where that highlighter is shining through from underneath my foundation. Makes me look super glowy, and I'm just gonna pat it on. And it's kind of pink, which works out because the blush that I'm gonna be taking is pink. I don't know, I'm just obsessed with pink highlighters though. And I'm gonna pop it on my chin, my cupid's bow, down my nose, the tip of my nose, and above the brow to about halfway, like right at the arch. For my blush, I'm taking the Melt Cosmetics Monarcha blush palette. I'm gonna go into the shade right here. It's so beautiful. And I'm just gonna take a little brush. It looks about like this, and going to just apply it over the bridge of my nose. And I'm gonna kind of do like when I was bronzing, but I'm gonna put it just like kind of between the highlighter and the bronzer. That way it blends the highlighter in, and you don't have just a harsh line of highlighter. I'm taking it on the apples of my cheeks. Blending it upwards. Okay, I'm gonna go do my lipstick and apply some little extra details, and I'll be right back. Alright, so this is my base, and I went a little extra. Like I said, this tutorial will be up on Sunday, so if you want to check that out, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and maybe those notifications so that you can be notified every time that I upload. But if not, that's cool. And yeah, let me know what you'd like to see next down below. I am trying really, really hard to think of some fun videos to kind of like do for February, so if you have any ideas, anything you'd like to see, or anything that you'd like to see in the future, just let me know. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Also, if you'd like to keep up my awkward phase and shenanigans while I'm not here on YouTube, I'll have all my social media links down in the description box below. And if you'd like to keep up with me while I am here on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. It means so much to me, and I appreciate it so much. And again, I do want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope that I'll see you in the next one. Bye!